Welcome back to the Skidmore family farm. As you can see, we got some snow overnight. It's the first major snow of the year here in Martinsville, Indiana. Looks like we got about 4 inches so far. If you look over here, you can see right there on the tabletop. I haven't measured it, but I'm guesstimating about 4 inches. I know they said on the news, Bloomington, Indiana, where IU is, they said they had 4.2 already, and they're 20 miles south of us. But the dog's out playing, and we're getting ready to feed the chickens. So let's go check that out. Yep, you can see Rosie loves the snow. She loves to run anyhow, but she's going crazy out here today. She's only seen one other snow like this. She's only 2. We had one snow that was about 3 or 4 inches, I think, last year. I don't think we really got much more than that. But I'm gonna get out here and feed the chickens. Sorry, our camera shut off. I'm not sure why, but I don't know how much we got, but we'll edit and fix it all up. Rosie's still going crazy. Let's get over here, and I've opened the chickens' door up, but they're not wanting to come out, so I'm gonna shove them off the little path to be able to get out and feed, or at least get out for a little bit, hopefully. Sorry, I'm carrying the tripod. It's a little bouncy today. And if you notice, I have all the proper attire on to be out in 30-degree weather with snow. I do got my boots on. We got the kids out, or at least one of them. You look over there, Trey's already out with his. He just woke up 5 minutes ago, and he's up and ready to go. Wish he'd get ready that easily for school. When he's running behind, he takes forever. He's worse than his mother. So we're still clearing out some of this snow, and we'll see if we can get the chickens to come out and feed. And this is just the corn and their regular pellet food mixture. Slowly coming out. And you can see where our priorities lie. I'm shoveling the chicken pen out before I do our driveway or sidewalks. You want to say hi, Trey? Yeah. Okay. Trey wants to say, what the heck is going on here? There we go. You say hi?
Hi.
Anything you want to say to him besides hi? Do you like the snow? Yeah. Yeah? Did you want to go to Grandma's today? Alright, well, Grandma's wanting you guys to come over. And a zipper jacket up. Not summertime. Yeah, as you can see, they don't like the snow much. They're just hanging out. They might be scared of the shovel too. And it's still pretty early. They've been laying their eggs later in the day, usually between 10 and 2 in the afternoon, so there's no eggs yet. Let's go over here and see if we can. As you can see, all the limbs on our huge pine trees are sagging. It's a very wet, sticky snow. So they're clinging to those pine needles and tree limbs. But it's very pretty out. I like it. As mild as the weather's been, it's not been like 70 degrees or anything, so I would just assume if it's going to be below 40 degrees or so, it might as well snow. But we don't get that lucky in Indiana. Sorry, it's a rough ride. We had to lift you up over the fence. Rosie's still going to town. She's already found her ham bone. That was originally for the chickens, and she stole it from them. So I think the chickens had their got their use out of it, though. Although yesterday, I wish I would have got it on video. Was the chickens were, one of them was fighting with Rosie over the bone, and the chicken wasn't backing down, coming back and forth. Rosie was boxing with her and having a good old time, fighting over a ham bone with the chicken. You like the snow, Elena?
Yep.
And our newly built roof barn, the roof on our barn hasn't collapsed. That's a good sign. Guess my construction skills aren't that bad. You gonna get on the playground? Rosie! Rosie, what are you doing? You playing in the snow, baby girl? Huh? Kill that ham bone. Full steam ahead. Huh? It's snowing on the ship, yeah. You gotta watch out for icebergs. Do you know what an iceberg is? It's big chunks of ice, like huge. They can be as big as a house. Chunks of ice that can be in the water. And they can be under, you can see a little bitty tip of one, just a small part of it. And it could be huge part that's underneath the water. Ships hit them. That's what sunk the Titanic, was an iceberg. A little history lesson there. Not that he cares. Do you? Dork. Okay. Okay. What if? Alright, folks. I'm going to go shovel and get rid of some of this snow off the porch, and you guys have a nice day. Thanks. As you can see, the roads aren't too bad out in Martinsville. The snow plows went down the main roads, and looks like they've even made a pass earlier, probably a couple hours ago, down this side road. I'm taking the kids to Grandma and Grandpa's house, but I thought I'd get a little bit of video going. Maybe we'd see some deer or something. I'm not sure. There's tons of deer out in this area, so maybe we'll get to see something like that. And the roads are a little slick. It's not too bad though. It's just really wet snow, so it makes it a little bit slipperier than a dry snow. And then here we got Cedar Creek Winery. That's the closest winery other than Oliver. A lot of you might have heard of Oliver Winery. That's down by Bloomington. And my parents live on a lake. They live in a lake community. They have 2 lakes. We're getting ready to pass the dam that is on the 2 lakes, or one of the dams, you can see. I know people are going to be like, oh my God, you're videoing while you're driving. Yes, I'm videoing while I'm driving. But I'm not looking through the camera. I'll edit out anything that's shaky or whatever that I don't want in there. Or I might not do any of it. If you look out here, you can see a lot of geese out in the field, the Canadian geese. And I'm not too worried about going into their neighborhood. They have snowplow, like a common grounds and maintenance person for their community, and they plow the roads regularly. I mean, if it starts snowing or icing in the middle of the night, they they'll get their big plow truck out and salt and do all that. They've got everything you need to take care of roads in their community, so should be just as good or better than the main roads. Yep, just about the same. And this is an older community. There's still a few lots. They're still building some houses, but most of these houses are 30, 40 years old. But it's a pretty nice community. They have, I think, 165-acre lake is the large lake, and then like 30 or 40 acres on the small lake, I believe, something like that. They're nice, just private lakes. They're nothing huge, or you're not going to get a huge sailboat or anything out on them, but they're nice. They're relaxing. They're private lakes, so you have to own property to have access to these lakes, so that makes it really nice. Everybody knows everybody, and there's usually not any problems. But just like I said, they've plowed all the roads. Now this looks like it could still be slick. Yeah, it slides a little bit if you hit the brakes fairly hard, but we've got new tires on the van, so I just had the tires put on in July, I believe, something like that. It was in midsummer. So it doesn't slide too bad. We had 6 inches probably in our alleyway, and I backed right out in it. Here's the snowplow right here. See? Taking care of the neighborhood. And we're going to turn down this drive, and my parents live just right around this little circle here. And if you look down, the lake is right behind their house. The gray house you see way over there, that's across the lake. Well, you can actually see it's not frozen over or anything, so you can see the water. But said they're this third house here on the left, but so it's a really nice community. They have a clubhouse and pool and tennis courts, basketball courts. It's a pretty nice little community, and it's still a very reasonable place to move to, considering that it's on lake property and lakefront homes. If you go up into Indianapolis, you're not going to find anything near. It'd be triple, if not quadruple, the price of these houses. So, still somewhat affordable. And then there's the parents' neighbor's dog out there running around acting crazy. All right, well, we'll get this video edited and get it out to you. Thanks for watching Skidmore Family Farm. All right, we're in my parents' backyard. Getting ready to head down to the lake. I got my boots and stuff on, so I'm gonna walk down and check out the water, and you'll get to see their backyard. It's beautiful right now with the snow and the lake and all that. Alright, so we're getting ready to head down the steps, and hopefully I don't bust my butt. There's the lake. We're up. Still up. Here's their barn and their backyard. They had some tree limbs full, but this is their back porch area. And then it goes down. They've got a pretty good hill that they're sitting on going down to the water. Alright, now let's see if we can do this without me killing myself. Kids are inside watching cartoons, and my mom made me some egg sandwiches, and I'm gonna do a little video here for you. Sorry if it's bouncy, I'm trying to keep it still. Going down steps in the snow's not the easiest. As you can see, they have lots of trees and a beautiful view. Pan back around. We've already went up or down quite a ways. Woo! And I almost busted my butt. You can see the geese. The field that the geese were in earlier is directly across this way. There's horse barns that you saw in the video earlier when we were driving to my parents' house. That's directly across, and where I said the dams were, which basically that side over there, that hillside, there's a road on top of that that leads to these houses over here and goes to the other side of the neighborhood. There's a small pond on the other side of that hill and across the road. That's the little lake. That's, like I said earlier, that's about, I think, 30 or 40 acres, and this area here that my parents live on, their lake, is approximately 160 or 65, something like that. It's a decent sized little private lake. Not huge, but not too small either. They can have boats here and you can ski and do that type of thing. Lots of fishing going on in the summertime and all that. And then my parents, I don't know if you can see it, there's 2 rope swings that come off the big tree. That's always fun in the summertime to be doing that. But you can see all the other houses on the lake also. I don't see any little bluegills or anything in the water. They're probably, this is fairly shallow here. I mean, it comes up to like 6 inches or so right here at the dock. The pontoons, when everybody stands on the front of it, it rubs the ground underneath the water, so on the shore. But it gets deeper as you go out. Right here across this main part over towards the boat launches right over there. It's only maybe 8 feet at the deepest across there, but when you go out here to the right, it starts getting pretty deep. I'm guessing out over in here, it's probably in the middle, probably 20-30 feet deep. I believe there's an underground spring that feeds this, or 2 or 3 springs, but I think one of them is right there, is what I was told. This was all an apple orchard maybe at one time. I can't remember. They dammed it up in the 50s, I believe, and started building houses in the 60s and 70s. Just heard some gunshots off in the distance. It's getting down to the last days of deer season here. Deer season might actually even be over in Indiana. I can't remember. But that's about it. This is my parents' lake house. They live here full-time year-round. You can see it's quite a distance up there. I'm guessing we're, I don't know, 250 feet from the house, and there's, from their back porch, I'm guesstimating 30 foot of drop, maybe more. From the water, I'm guessing, yeah, probably 30 feet of elevation drop. Not too steep, but not flat neither. All right, thanks for watching Skidmore Family Farm. Okay, this is the back way out from my parents' house. This is not the way we came in. As you can see, it's farm ground. You can see the hay bales and all that. There's a few houses. But this field over here and the one on up here is full of deer all the time in the evenings and early mornings. I'm looking for deer, but I'm not seeing any. But this field over here to the right, there's always deer in that. Occasionally we'll see a fox or a coyote run across these fields. And then this is the farmhouse. I think the guy that lives there owns a lot of this. He used to be a old timer that lived there, and I think he passed away and his sons or daughter or somebody ended up with it, and they still do the hay. Normally I wouldn't go this way, but I've seen that the plow truck's been through here. There's a couple big hills. Hopefully they've got those hills, because otherwise the van probably won't go up them. We might have to make a detour and go off the other direction. We'll go ahead and downshift. Just in case these are slippery, I'll put it in first gear so we don't build up any momentum if we'd start sliding. Yeah, they've already plowed this. The main thing when you're on roads like this is to keep your tires in the ruts. Same with when you're off-roading. If you're in the mud, you need to keep your tires in the ruts. You get out of the ruts, you get going sideways or cockeyed and you can't get out, or you slide, you'll keep spinning around and you'll go off the road when you get out of the ruts, or have to stop because you lose traction. It's always a good idea to downshift if you're in a manual or automatic. Put it down in low gear, just let the transmission brake your vehicle, let the transmission slow it down essentially. Yeah, this hill up here has been plowed. The state trucks for the county highway department is right at the top of this hill, so it usually gets plowed pretty quickly. But when you're going up the hill, it's the same thing. Keep your tires in the grooves, basically, where it's been plowed or where there's no snow. If you get your tires in that snow, you're going to automatically lose traction and go one way or the other and possibly slide out or whatever. We just passed a car. I wanted to put my phone down and both hands on the wheel. But yeah, the county highway department is over there. And we're back up at the highway that we came in on the way here.